Hi guys, and those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Maria, and today I'm going to be trying out one of the new 9-pan Huda Beauty, from the Wild series palettes. I haven't even opened this yet. I was lucky enough to be able to get this delivered today because as of about 3 days ago, New Zealand went into lockdown. And you can't do online shopping here at the moment unless it's deemed essential, and makeup isn't deemed essential. But even though Sephora in New Zealand isn't opened up, what happens is when you place an online order, it goes through to Sephora in Australia, and they are the ones that sent this palette to me, and it only took about 3 or 4 days to arrive, which is pretty good because customs in New Zealand will be slowed down quite a bit as well. There'll be less staff working at customs, and also they have to follow the practices of safe social distancing and everything that goes with that. This is the very first Huda Beauty eyeshadow that I'm going to try. I haven't tried any other of their eyeshadows, but I have tried earlier this year. They came out with a newer foundation, and that is wonderful for my really oily skin, especially in summertime. And I've also tried one of their eyebrow pencils, and I really like that as well. Now in this Wild series there were 3 other palettes. 2 you can get online, and I think there's one that you can only get from the Huda Beauty website itself. But it was the colour story in this one that I thought I'd probably get the most use out of. So let's open her up and take a look. So it just comes in this plastic packaging on the outside. This has a shelf life of, if I can read it, I think it's 24 months, and it is made in China. Now on the packaging it says that there are mattes and shimmers in the palette, and inside the palette are the 9 eyeshadows, similar to the layout of NARS that I've been loving and recently trying out. Those NARS eyeshadows are just gorgeous. So I can see just by looking at it now, there are the 4 mattes and also what they described as shimmers. But it was interesting to see what they're like swatched, because they sort of look to me like perhaps leaning towards more glitter. So we'll swatch these on my arm and take a look at them. And as you can see, I forgot to mention, but there is a really decent size mirror on the inside here as well. So I'll swatch these shadows from left to right and top to bottom. So this shade here is matte, and so is this one here. This is like a brown type of colour. This one has a purple sort of hue to it. This one here is just a very light beige colour, and this one here is the matte black. The black swatched fairly evenly on my arm, so I'm hoping it'll go really well when I put it on as a shadow on my eyes. This is the shade I was most interested in. This is really gorgeous. This is sort of a black but has quite a bit of silver through it as well. This is a really beautiful gold colour. Here is more of lilac, and that didn't swatch that well on my arm. Probably might be better maybe as just a topper shade. It's a really pretty colour though. And this shimmer here has a very gorgeous, it's got a green earthy undertone to it. And this one here is very faint as well. This is like a lilac colour, and that may be better as just a topper shade as well. But sometimes with eyeshadows, compared to what they swatch on your arm, they can be completely different once you start putting them on your lids. So let's get these eyeshadows on. Well, some of them. I've already got my foundation on. I've set it down with powder. I have eye primer on, and I've also got some bronzer on as well. So I'm going to take one of my most used brushes. This is the Rephr number 15, And I'm going to go into this very more lighter shade here and just put a wash of that over the lids. There's a little bit of kick up in the pan, but that never bothers me. It's mainly if there's quite a bit of fallout, which there doesn't appear to be. Put a lighter shade on my brow bone, and I'm going to take the BK Beauty 206 brush and go into this very lightest shade here and just put a little bit on. Then I'm going to add some more depth to my crease, so I'm going to go into this shade here. This is the Rephr number 14 brush. I use this brush a lot as well, and it's really good for placing in the crease and also just for blending the colour up a little bit. These are blending out really well so far, these shades. As I said, it's the first time I've used a Huda Beauty eyeshadow, and they are performing really well. I'm going to put some of that same darker colour that I just used on my lower lash line, and we're going to use the Rephr number 3 brush for that. And I'm just going to soften that shadow on my lower lash line a little bit. So I'm going to take Sonia G. This is the soft finer, and I find this brush really good for just softening out shadow on my lower lash line. It's just super soft and really delicate for that skin under your eyes. So I really want to see how this black shadow performs. So I'm going to take a Sonia G to begin with. I think this is the Worker 3 brush, and just place some on the outer corner, and then I'll use another brush to blend it out, and hopefully it blends out really well. Okay, so far so good. It's laid down really well. So I'm going to take the Blender Pro. This is another Sonia G brush, and just blend it out a bit. It doesn't seem to be patchy at all, and it blends out really well. So now I'm going to put on maybe 1 or 2 of, as they describe them, shimmer shades, and I'll go into this one first. I may put another one over the top, and I'm going to use the Sonia G. It's the Builder 3 brush. Then I want to use one of these shades here, the more purple sort of lilac, and I'll use my finger, I think, to put them on. So I'm going to use the middle shade here and just lay that over the top of the shimmer that I just put on. And that shade worked really well by placing it on with my finger. I thought it probably would, because when I swatched it, as I said, it's sort of a bit more like a topper shade, but it is really, really pretty. I just want to put a bit more of a darker eyeshadow on my lower lash line. So I'm going to take the Rephr number 3 brush again and go into that black shade. And finally, I just want to lighten my inner corner. So I'm going to take the BK Beauty 204 brush, go back into this shade here, and just put a bit on the inner corner of each eye. And I'm also going to put some of that black shadow on my upper lash line. I'm going to use the Hourglass number 10 brush. So now I'm going to curl my eyelashes and put on my mascara, and then I'll be back to finish off the look, put on some blush and some lipstick. So now I'm going to put some blush on, and I'm going to use the one that I used in my most recent video, and it's a SUQQU one. It's from their latest limited edition range, their autumn winter, and it's a really beautiful blush. This is what it looks like. It's just really, really gorgeous. And I'm going to put it on using the Chikuhodo F03 brush. I think it is, yep, the F03 brush. So I'm just going to sweep in all the colours. This is a gradient blush, and you can either go darker or lighter, but it's really nice when you just sweep them all together as well. And I don't think I said the number of this blush. This is number 128, but everything that I'm wearing today I'll put in the description box below. So finally I'm going to do lipstick. I'm not going to put on any highlighter today. I think my eyes are sparkly enough. Perhaps if I was going out for the evening I would. So let's get into the lipstick. I recently picked up a new to me lipstick, and this is a Chantecaille one. This is the Lip Chic range, and I just really love the formula of these. And this is in the shade Daphne. I just love these lipsticks. I love the formula of them. They just feel really comfortable on the lips, and they give this beautiful wash of colour. They're not too sheer and not too bright either. Just really, really beautiful. I'm not going to put on any setting powder today. Everything looks like it's sitting really nicely, and it's a good makeup day today, so I don't think I need anything extra. And here is the final look. I'm really impressed with these shadows. I think they blended really, really beautifully. I like the shimmers, and the one that ended up really sort of being like a topper shade is really beautiful as well. And I'm really impressed with the black shadow in here because it just blended out so easily. I didn't have to do a lot of work with it, and it certainly wasn't patchy in any way. And like I was saying, this is the first time I bought one of the Huda Beauty eyeshadow palettes, and I would buy another one again, providing a colour story comes out that I know that I would use quite a lot. Then I would definitely buy this again. They're just really pretty shadows that perform really, really well. And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye.